When I push it, it says pause. Oh, is it pausing?
I think you push that to pause. That's what it's saying. Push.
Recording.
Okay. All right. Okay. Introduce her.
Okay, this is my audience. This is Jean and Wendy and Matt, Margot, Sandy, and Diane. Okay, my topic is Down syndrome children and how they learn to communicate. Down syndrome is one of the most common genetic causes of developmental disabilities. There are approximately 5,000 children born with Down syndrome each year. Years ago, they told parents not to bring the child home because it would be such a hardship on the family. Over the years, we have learned a great deal in helping these children learn. Early intervention is very important to encourage growth and development, especially in communication, behavior, social skills, and personal skills. I will discuss the characteristics of Down syndrome as well as the language and vocabulary development. I will also show how even though their speech is delayed, they can interact socially and how their range of temperament differs with each child. Because so many children are born with Downs each year, I feel it is important for you to listen to my presentation in case a friend or relative's child is born with this disability, or maybe even a child with Down syndrome moves into your neighborhood. You'll then have a better understanding of them. Down syndrome children have certain physical and mental characteristics. The physical characteristics typically include a smaller head, their eyes may appear to slant upward, and their ears tend to be smaller, often with a fold at the top. Their nose is also smaller with a flattened nasal bridge. 40% of Down syndrome children are born with congenital heart disease or defect. Children with Down syndrome almost always have some degree of intellectual disability. They learn more slowly and have difficulty with complex reasoning and judgment. The degree of intellectual impairment, however, varies tremendously. Now that you know the characteristics of these children, let me talk about language and vocabulary development. Children with Down syndrome are later than other children to learn to talk. These children know more than they can say due to speech motor difficulties. They also find grammar more difficult to learn when young, often talk in rather telegraphic sentences such as me go school or me go Monday. 2/3 of children have a mild to moderate hearing loss, which also makes it more difficult for them to speak. They also have poor listening memory skills, which are essential for learning to talk. Even though speech and language are delayed, social understanding is usually a strength beginning at infancy. In the book Babies with Down Syndrome, it states that social and emotional development are seen very early as your baby looks at you and begins to smile. Babies with Down syndrome are usually very social. They like to look at faces, to smile, and begin to learn about people. They learn to understand facial expressions, tones and voices, and body posture. These nonverbal cues are ways in which we convey how we are feeling. The Down syndrome child spends more time looking at faces and engaging with people. Watching people is how they learn their social skills and learn how to relate to others so well. Social understanding, empathy, and social interactive skills are strengths for children with Down syndrome, which is important since verbal communication is often a huge barrier. The development of interpersonal social skills may be more important to them than academic skills for becoming independent and having friends. It will also help them find work in the community as an adult. The educational mainstreaming in recent years has provided them with more peer group socialization. These children now have the same opportunities for peer exposure, such as playgroups and being in the classroom at school. Since many of the cues which indicate how someone is feeling are nonverbal, the child with Down syndrome, even though they might not be able to speak clearly, can communicate with their peers. Since they have so much empathy and competence, Down syndrome children are able to pick up on these nonverbal messages about feelings and behave in an appropriate way. Even though they can interact socially, children with Down syndrome have the same range of temperament and personality as typically developing children. Down syndrome children tend to have positive personalities and be happy, kind, and social, but there is still a wide range of individual differences. Good social understanding of the behavior of others can also enable the child with Down syndrome to be skilled at being naughty, as they know exactly how to provoke the reactions they want, such as if they run, they know they will be chased, touching other children's work or making noises in class to gain the teacher's attention. They often see how far they can push the boundaries in a new situation. Some of these behaviors may be learning and exploratory behaviors. For some children, behavior is not as easy to change at home or at school, and parents and teachers must work together to develop common strategies in order to change any inappropriate behavior. In my presentation, I discussed how with early intervention, these children learn language and vocabulary and how to interact socially. I also discussed their physical and mental characteristics and their temperament. I hope you now know a little more about these wonderful children. Thank you for listening to me.